này ngồi cái này có bao giờ thì cái gì rồi
So, hi, we prepared a presentation about gender and age, and we decided to focus on women because we have more information about that. So, I hope you will like it and enjoy.
We found out about the history of women in the employment market. During the communist period, more women went to work, about the same number of men and women. However, privatization and capitalism created a cult of young male professionals with a greater focus on profit and not equality in the workplace. Unlike other countries, the Czech Republic never had a wave of feminism, which meant that women never really came together to discuss their oppression. Even under communism, women still faced inequality in the home, where they were expected to carry out domestic tasks like cooking and looking after the children. Simone de Beauvoir, a famous French feminist writer, said that in the 1970s, women in the Czech Republic were victims of a patriarchal society and that they were not equal because men were always the leaders. Now, under capitalism, women are still not treated as equal to men.
So I'm going to talk about childcare and women in the home. There is not much public childcare in the Czech Republic, which makes it very difficult for women to feel confident that they can both get a job and have their children cared for at the same time. In fact, there are only 82 public kindergartens in the Czech Republic. The rest are private and they are very expensive and unaffordable for many women. When a woman has a baby, she can stay at home for up to 4 years. She has a choice, but if she cannot afford childcare, she has to stay at home for 4 years to care for the baby. The gender roles are very different, and it is embarrassing for a man to clean or go out with a pushchair. Women earn less money in general, so they are more likely to take maternity leave, and they only get 65% of their salary for the first few months. It is almost impossible for single parents to live because there is hardly any government support. It can also be very difficult to go back to work after so long because technology changes and women workers can be easily replaced with other people.
I'm going to talk to you about access to employment. In the Czech Republic, access to the workplace is difficult. Finding a job is especially hard if you're young and inexperienced or if you're near the retirement age. If a woman is at the age of having children, employers sometimes ask personal and invasive questions about childcare and pregnancy, despite the fact that it is illegal.
And we're going to talk about women in the workplace. There is a 25% unexplained pay gap between men and women. The Czech Republic is the second worst country in the European Union for the gender pay difference. This is illegal, but it still happens. In the workplace, there is horizontal and vertical segregation, which means that women often work in poorly paid sectors and the lowest level in jobs. And while 62% of men are in banking and managerial jobs, 79% of healthcare workers are women and 3/4 of education workers are women. Yesterday when we visited the accommodation for disabled people, we saw that most of the carers were women. We think that if their wages were better, there would be more men who wanted to work here.
There is a culture of women as pattern carries in the home. Women retire early and if they have more than one child, they retire even early, so they leave work. They often look after their parents in their house, and caring for others is seen as more important than going to work.
However, there have been some improvements. The government has introduced new anti-discrimination laws, although they are not always strict.
successful or useful, the government has finally acknowledged that there are problems and they are trying to solve them. There's now a greater awareness of discrimination and prejudice. More men now look after their children and they're changing. And the changing culture is good for them too because they don't have to conform to stereotypes. And they can share their responsibilities and be more equal. There are still many problems, but hopefully it will continue to improve in the future.
We are going to sing a song for you by Tammy Wynette. It was her most successful song and reached #1 in the US. It was #1 in the UK when it was released in 1975. It made her into a superstar, and she means every word. Feel free to join in.